Hi and welcome back to my noise desensitization video series. This is behind closed doors and it's exactly how it sounds. We're going to take the appliance or the object of noise, the thing that your dog's afraid of. For this video series it's going to be a vacuum and or a blower, and we're going to put them behind doors. So it's out of sight, out of mind, and the noise is muffled. You're then going to take your dog and you're going to move your dog away from the door. Always remember when you're trying to desensitize your dog to something that distance is your friend. So get the dog as far away from the object that you need to, so that you have control over your dog and that you can get your dog's focus. It's no point having your dog closer than it can handle, because if the dog's got more focus on the object in question, then you're only actually increasing fear and anxiety, and to make that worse, you're right there while the dog's getting anxious and frightened. So you want to, take that away so the dog feels safe. So distance is your friend, get your dog away. You want the correct distance is a distance away from the object that you can still have control over your dog. So the dog will still hear it, the dog will still have a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of fear, a little bit of stimulation, but you have enough control to get the focus off of that and onto you. And that's the correct distance. So your dog's not overwhelmed by it and you can control it. Because basically that's what you'll be doing. You'll be basically training the dog's focus up, to get the focus off of the object and onto you, so it begins to blank out that distraction. So the distraction becomes more and more background noise and not something it should be afraid of. So that's really important. The next thing that's super important is you don't pay the dog any other attention. Right? You don't, baby the dog because it's frightened, whether it's this or anything. Don't stop babying your dog, because in most cases that's created the fear in the first place. So stop babying the dog, stop talking to it so much, let the dog be a dog. All of these things can be avoided if you train the dog first and treat the dog like a dog. When we try to treat the dog like a child, we screw it up. Right? It's not a child, it's a dog, and treating it like a child isn't showing the dog that you love it more than somebody like me who treats their dog like it's a dog. I understand a dog and I treat it like a dog because that's what it needs. And my dogs don't have anxieties, they don't have fears, they don't have behavioural problems, because I treat them like dogs. As well as the training has got to still be there, but they're treated like dogs, and that's so important. For somewhere along the line somebody convinced a whole bunch of people the only way you can possibly love your dog is to treat it like it's a child and give it rainbows and cheese and hugs and everything's alright, and it's not. Dog needs to know what's right, what's wrong. Dog does need positive, lots of positives, but it doesn't need to be treated like a child. Right? So don't treat it like a child, treat it like a dog. Talk less to it. It needs to know that it's alright to be alone. It needs to know it's alright that these things aren't going to hurt it. Remember, its house should be a safe area. It shouldn't be afraid of things in the house. Its yard should be a safe area. It shouldn't be afraid of things in the yard. When you're walking the dog down the street on the leash, you shouldn't be afraid of the things around it, because you're there, attached to that leash. So it's very important that you treat them like dogs. It's very important that the dog has independence and confidence, right? Not fears and anxieties. That's super important. Alright, so from here I've got Koji far enough away that I think that he'll be okay with the sound. If I turn it on and find out that he's not, because I upset him a little more than I thought the other night when I tried to see where he was at with being in touch with the vacuum. If I've done that, I'll move him further away. But I think he'll be alright here with the door shut, definitely. It's just in the next room. If not, I'll make that adjustment. You do the same with your dog. Adjust your dog. So it's better to start further away than you think than too close. So start further away, and if your dog just gets it, that's all right. You can move on to the next step. But if you start too close, get it away really quickly. But like I said, it's better to err on the side of caution and start further away, because you're just not upsetting or overstimulating the dog, and that's really important. So we'll go into the other room and I'll turn it on. We'll keep this running. Like I said, this is his first level here, his first time at this level, so you'll get to see it live. We'll turn it on and we'll come back out. Notice how my body behaviour is around him. Notice how I do or don't talk to him. Notice what attention I do or don't pay to him, because that is really important. Alright, body language and the way you talk and treat a dog is really important to overcoming these things. Alright, I'll be back in a moment. Alright, so as you can see, I've walked in and I've walked out. I didn't speak to the dog when I was going. He was put in a, well, he wasn't putting it down, he was in a sit, and then I paid him no attention, so he's gone into automatic calm mode that's built into his training. He also has, when he's in a sit or a down command, that he's in an auto stay mode as well, so he's not allowed to move. But as you can see, he's done exactly that. He's gone into auto calm and auto stay, so I can just walk away. And when I walk back, I've not paid him any attention whatsoever. And he stayed calm. He hasn't got excited about me coming back or anything like that. He knows until I pay him attention, that's his job, is to stay calm. I've just put him on this pillow because if you've seen some of the other videos on this floor, he basically just slips over. So I've put him on this just in case I need him in a sit at some point. So I'll just spin him around. As you can see, he's just stayed really nice and calm. So I'm just going to come next to the dog. Now you can do this a number of ways. You can be just walking around an area with your dog. You can have the dog in a sit, or you can have it in a down. Have a lead on it so you've got control. There's no point in doing this if the dog takes off. And if you're not sure how that dog's going to react when you turn that on, even the dog's at the other end of the house, or the dog won't auto stay or stay for you, leash it to something so it stays back away from the noise. Don't walk it into the room, switch it on, switch it out, because you're already going to start upsetting your dog. Alright? The other thing, when your dog's got anxieties, again, it's super important to teach that dog that it's alright to be alone, and it's really important to teach that dog how to switch off to be calm. So grab my video series on calm, do those. Crate training your dog's great to just give it a spot to go on and teach it by being yourself. Good. Yes. On the site there's links also to place command. Teach your dog a place command so it's got somewhere to go and relax as well. Right, so as you can see, I'm sitting here, I'm basically ignoring the dog. And every now and again when I get that, I'm going to treat the dog. Just pick up these treats that I've dropped. And so basically I'm just going to work on focus without any commands. Yes, good boy. I'll praise him. And I'm simply praising him because he's being calm. The focus is the big bonus. Yes, it's good boy. So as soon as he looks me in the eyes, I'm just treating him. I'm not going to do it every time. Good. But I'm just going to treat him. I want him paying attention to me and not to what's happening out there. Right, that's really important. So this is how this one goes, and when he becomes dead comfortable, you're going to move him forward towards that door, towards that object, to that room that it's behind. And you'll do it just a foot at a time. And if it takes 2 days or a week to get another foot forward, you'll do that. You won't move your dog closer till your dog is dead calm and 100% comfortable. As you can see, he's not paying any attention to that noise. He doesn't really care about it, so he would be right to move closer. So that's what I'm going to work on now. I'm going to take him, turn this off, and I'm going to go and work on getting him closer and closer. Like I said, I don't think I'll have any real troubles with getting him closer. I don't think he'll stress out at all. And that's what you're going to do once you get to this point at that distance. You'll slowly move your dog closer, only a foot at a time. If that's too much, come back a little bit. Don't go closer to your dog. Really calm and chilled out and not paying any attention. When he looks like this, that's when you can go a bit closer. Alright, I hope this helps. We'll see you on the next one.